Okay, so Tempered Steel. This was a historic anthology card a little bit ago. That's sweet in this format with all of our cheap artifact things. Make your artifact Dorkos much, much bigger. So we've got a bunch of cheap artifact drops here at the bottom. We've got Steel Overseer to act as kind of additional copies of Tempered Steel. We've got Servo Expedition to double up. We've got some Showdown of the Skalds here at the top end of the curve to generate card advantage and add more pressure. And then Chandra is kind of like Showdowns 5 and 6 because we can only play 4 copies of this card. In the most recent historic anthology, we got what is subtly a very powerful upgrade to this archetype. Blinkmoth Nexus here as a creature land is just like pretty decent on its own, but this gets pumped by Steel Overseer, it gets pumped by Tempered Steel. Stacking counters on this with Showdown of the Skalds is like super reasonable, so I'm excited to see how this deck feels with more utility lands. We had in previous builds, we had played Sun-Scorched Desert, which is not nearly as good as this. I've still got a couple of Ramunap Ruins here as opposed to basic mountains because killing people with our lands is great, so we have a little bit of a higher land count for an aggro deck. We're on 23. But we want to get to our 4s, and we've got a bunch of utility lands here. So, honestly, I could see it even being right to trim down a Chandra and get up to 24 lands from 23, or maybe trim the third Hope to get another Ramunap Ruins. But I'm going to try 23 here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we add a land by the end of the set. I'm guessing Cleave is too hard to cast and not good. I think if we wanted a Cleave style of effect, I think Maul of the Sky Claves would probably be better. You want to splash for Toski instead of Chandra? That's not really free is the problem. I agree that Toski would be okay, it's just like splashing a third color has a real cost. Yeah, Showdown decks want to hit like their first 5 to 6 lanes usually. I wouldn't hate having one more mana in here. I only have 4 basics in my deck, so in order to fit green sources in, I'd have to be cutting lands of other colors. Yeah, you could technically play Spire, but even if I cut 4 red-white duels for Spire and then 4 basics for 4 green-white lands, I'm still only at 8 green, and you need like 11 to 12 to splash a 4-drop green card. So I don't think that's a good splash. I agree that if it was equally castable, Toski's probably better than Chandra, but it's not equally castable. Sesta, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel today. Fat Robot, did I miss your resub? If I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, thanks again. Seeing this green-white counters build a lot more. I would bet our opponent is playing green-white Collected Company as opposed to green-white counters. We spent a bunch of time playing green-white company. It's up on, we had like a 3-hour session with it up on YouTube. Like a Great Henge, Lovestruck Beast style Collected Company deck would be my bets. You just play this card because it's a good enabler for both Henge and Lovestruck Beast. Respec, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. Yeah, looks like the Coco deck. Huh? So do we just play Steely Dan out here? Just like smack him for 3, or do I get Showdown rolling? There's some appeal to getting Showdown going ASAP, so we can start getting the counter triggers from it. No, it's a question of like, do I need better blocks slipped in? Like, I can just use my life total as a bit of a resource here, right? Wow. That's terrifying. Is that turn 4 Amaria's called? That's pretty lucky. Their deck does not play a lot of white sources. So the fact that they had triple white is this early is pretty exceptional. Yeah, I think we're probably dead to that. Oh, I should have waited to see if it lands off of that. The Angels are seeking revenge from the deck voting. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Tocatli Honor Guard sounds great. This is not a Chandra matchup. We want to play to the board more quickly. I'll take a couple of Deccan Stones for killing their larger things. I don't want to become too interactive on the play. On the draw, I might bring in like Abrade in the third Deccan Stone. Want to be pretty proactive when we're on the play, try and run them down. We are an aggro deck in our core. Remember, every interactive piece we boarded is going to dilute our primary game plan. Do you have a favorite Magic artist? Nah, not really. Shipbolt, thanks for the Prime. I appreciate that. There's a ton of great people you could ship that to every single month there in Twitch. Thanks for sending your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. No Cage? I don't think we really need Cage. We have Tocatli on our guard for the Goblins matchup. You're saying I have Cage in my board and you want to board Cage in here. I don't really like boarding in Cage against just Collected Company. Oh yeah, I do have Cage. Yeah, we have Cage Honor Guard for Goblins. Yeah, I don't really like Cage in the just Company matchups. It's kind of narrow. Actually, one of the things that's kind of annoying about Magic as a content producer is I use artwork from the different games that I play for my various thumbnail images on YouTube now, and other games that aren't Magic have full artwork available for their things pretty consistently, and Magic just does not. It's real annoying. You have a Bant Angels deck anywhere. Yeah, you can find all the deck lists that we've played on my YouTube channel. They're in every video description has a deck list. I'm waiting until at least summer to put deck lists back up on my website again. I've been hurt before, chat. I want a couple of set releases to prove Historic will still be reasonable. A couple of set releases in before I spend time and money putting deck pages up and then have them rendered useless. I've literally spent hundreds of dollars putting pages up for formats that were quickly turned to poop. So. That's a cute thought. If I would have played this, I could have turned itself on to get counters. Get a clue, opponent. You'd have to give up Ramunap Ruins, Hidden Flames, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if Disintegration is good enough. Scrap Heap could be okay. I don't know. Like, Scrap Heap's like a really grindy card. I don't really want to put, like, my deck's not really super interested in grinding. Like, I get that this card draws cards, but, like, it also just kills the opponent too, which is nice. Like, it's kind of interactive, but it also just ends the game. You would stop paying your artists. It would be cheaper to put things up on the website. Yeah. Yeah, I have these damn progressive values that dictate I pay people for their work, chat. I practice what I preach. Don't make people work for free. Most of the cards I'd like to see added to Historic are cards from the original Innistrad set. Like, there's a ton of good ones in there. Things like Delver of Secrets, Huntmaster of the Fells, Garruk Relentless. Past those ones, Vendilion Click would be one I would love to see. I'm gonna play Tocatli Honor Guard before I play Steel Overseer since we drew it, so that way this doesn't get tagged by their removed creatures. Geist of Saint Trash would be a good one. Agree with that. Nice gain 2 per turn, opponent. Nice gain 2 a turn. Well, we're guaranteed to get Thing in the Ice eventually, chat. And again, like, this always comes up when people talk about cards they want to see in Historic. I never talk about cards that are in Pioneer because Pioneer is coming to Historic eventually. We are guaranteed to get Pioneer on this client at some point. It might not be in the time frame you personally want to see it, but it's coming. Sure, that's why I said Geist of Saint Traft is a good suggestion, because it's not in Pioneer. Wizards of the Coast has said that Pioneer is guaranteed coming to Arena. They have not given a time frame. I think we're dead here. If we would have hit our land drop here, we might have been okay. Got it, we're just dead. I kind of like the idea of Mardu. Unlicensed Disintegration is sweet. Is that too slow? It's probably too slow. Is it though? What does Mardu look like? How do you spell Scrounger? What's the... Oh, I don't have... It's considered a black card, isn't it? I didn't have the black filter on. It's an artifact card, so I assumed with this one clicked it would come up. Silly Jeff. Silly Jeff. This is 16 red. This is how much white? This is 18 white. And then this is 14 red. And 12 black. We talked, people talking about fetch lands, Prismatic Vista is a card I would like to see in Historic after what we talked about yesterday. I think that's probably a sweet idea. Fetches are banned because they make mana bases boring. Fetches are a good ban. Do I want these in the main? There's a lot of creatures in this format. What would I trim to fit these in the main? Probably Sparring Construct, gives me 14 1-drops. Let's try this. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is better, but both of these are like pretty okay cards. I think if people wanted slightly better mana in Historic, I think Prismatic Vista would be the only fetch I would want added. Vista gives you like slightly better fixing without being perfect. I would love the other half of the fast lands. Would really love to see those. Those would also be a good addition to the format, in my opinion. Think Vintage is ever coming to Arena? No. I think Pioneer coming to Arena is still in the far off future. As someone somewhat familiar with software development at large companies, not specifically game development, but software stuff at larger companies, I would expect Pioneer being fully on Arena is still 4 to 5 years off at a minimum. Anything past that, like Modern or others, is a decade or more. Yeah, that's also true. Technically, Magic Online doesn't support Vintage or Legacy. It has formats that are called that, but they're not actually there. Modern is not fun. I mean, like, I'm gonna give you a timeout for that. That's a lazy shit take. You personally might not enjoy Modern, and I personally actually don't really like Modern. But like telling other people saying, I wish this format that I want to play was on here, and you saying, well, that format sucks, it's super rude. Like, don't yuck other people's yum. Let people like things. Card game players are so terrible about that. They think everything that exists on these platforms has to appeal to them specifically. Like, I hate Limited, but you don't hear me talking about how we should get rid of Limited, or Limited shouldn't exist. I'm glad Limited exists. I'm glad it's a way. I'm glad it's a way people get to enjoy the game. Was this for those at home taking notes on this deck, you'll note that I skillfully left the Showdown of the Skalds on top of my deck there so it couldn't get thought seized. You wanna take note of that for the future. I think we play Blinkmoth so we can attack with it next turn, right? Mind explaining why Vintage and Legacy aren't formats at MTGO? I don't think I understand your statement. Yeah, cards that are legal at Legacy and Vintage don't exist on Magic Online. There are cards that you could technically register in those formats that literally don't exist on Moto. No, the Walking Dead cards exist. And, like, saying that they technically don't exist is like an actually statement just for reference. Like, all of the cards that are important to those formats exist on there, but me pointing out pedantically that technically not all of them are is being a Magic player. But technically, those formats don't exist on Moto. Bear Senior, thank you for the very generous tier 2, and thank you for the 36 months. Yeah, a lot of it is like weird battle bond and conspiracy stuff, is exactly correct. That you could register at a Legacy invented paper, but just doesn't exist on that platform. And again, just for reference to make my position as clear as possible, I don't think it's a big deal that those cards don't exist on Moto, but it, you know, pedantically you can point it out. All cards in Pioneer are coming to Historic, Shuffler Truther, because all cards in Pioneer are coming to Magic Arena. And all the cards on Magic Arena are Historic, Legal, Sans a ban list, and like a very small selection of things like original mocks. Well, I assume they won't have an actual Pioneer queue on Magic Arena until... I assume they just won't have an actual Pioneer queue on Magic Arena until the set's completely there. I really want to draw some lands here. I assume we're getting swept next turn. I think, assuming we're gonna get swept, I just do this attack for 6 and pass. Like Languish or Anger here are both pretty likely. Can you give me what's the quote on that page, Shuffler Truther? What's the quote on that page that you're trying to reference and actually me about with the format? Like you're basically your argument you're telling me based on this article is that you expect them to put Pioneer cards onto Magic Arena and have them not be legal and historic? That's what you're saying to me, right? You're saying, Jeff, I think they're putting cards on a Magic Arena for Pioneer and those cards won't be legal and historic. That's what you're saying to me. And you're referencing this article as your source for that?
I am Volki, god of... Make no mistake. Yes, bleed. Oh, that's mine. Let's play a little game.
You have cast Stonecoil for 0 to kill Tibalt with the extra counter. That didn't kill Tibalt. I think you're mistaken about how much loyalty this Tibalt had. They were hand-choosing cards in remaster sets, kind of. They're choosing them a couple of different ways. That includes, you know, ease of programming. Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna win this game, but if we do, it's definitely because of Blinkmoth Nexus. My mom's cousin's boyfriend does work at WotC. My dad works for Nintendo. I know what I'm talking about. Well, Blinkmoth is good, but I don't know if it's Skalds drawing 4 lands can still win the game good. Oh, I should have animated this in response technically, right? I guess I would let it die to a sweeper, but it would have gotten a counter. Yeah, I probably should have animated this in response to that stomp. Wiggles. Well, if I animate the smaller one, there's a Heartless Act face up. So this was guaranteed to die to Heartless Act. I didn't want to discard my spell. I mean, they had Eliminate, so like it would have been turning my Servo into a, Yeah, Twitch had their constant unfair advantage. If they have a Bedevil or an Abrade here or something, my Blinkmoth is gonna die. Fatal Push, maybe. Honestly, this game is kind of talking me out of the black cards just because, like, Scrap Heap Scrounger getting exiled by all the stuff that these decks have is really annoying. For people in chat that are new, I'm going to give you a little bit of courtesy here because you're new. But instead of asking me to dictate to you why my play was good, tell me why it was bad, or tell me why your play was better. So instead of saying, hey, Jeff, wasn't this other thing better, and me telling you your idea is shitty, instead, frame it in a positive light and tell me why your idea was good. And if you can't come up with a reason why your idea was good, maybe it isn't. But don't like make me dictate to you why your suggestion is bad. I really dislike that framing that happens on Twitch a lot. It's very lazy. I think we're dead here at this point. Not having desert lands that act as reach also felt bad there. And again, like, and this is the big thing, and this is something that's very different in Historic versus Standard, is in Standard right now, the way the pathways work and the way dual lands are in Standard, it's basically free to splash third colors into Standard, most decks in Standard right now. In Historic, that's not true. In Historic, we have good utility lands like Ramunap Ruins, and we have just more dual lands that you have access to. So adding a third color to your decks in this format comes at a real cost because you're giving up consistency or utility in your two-color deck. You tried cutting Temper Steel for Heart because Heart's a mythic rare. Does having your lands come into play tapped hurt more in Historic? It does, but in Standard, so this is why splashing in Standard is free, patronizing Porpoise. The way the pathway lands work, splashing doesn't make your mana come into play tapped in Standard. In Standard, when you splash a third color, you just cut basics and replace them with 8 pathways, and it's basically completely free. Whereas in Historic, you don't play a lot of basics. You play utility lands and more 2-color dual lands. So it's not this complete free roll like it is in Standard. Yeah, I agree, Sai. Like, I actually, and I've talked about this before, I actually really love where mana bases are among other things in Historic right now, because it feels like there's meaningful give and take and decisions to make. It's not just like in Modern and Legacy where it's like, oh, I can basically play whatever colors I want, and my deck's just marginally worse against Bird if I'm fetch shocking more often. Fetch shock mana bases are incredibly dry and uninteresting once you have a couple of base heuristics down. Whereas in Historic, the considerations, and even Pioneer 2, the considerations of like what you're doing and what you're giving up, what your trade-offs are very real to consider. How much money do I need to spend to feel bad about having a deck in Historic versus feeling bad about not having one? I have no idea. There's other people online that have done computations of what it costs to buy cards on Magic Arena. I'm a content producer. When Magic Arena wants my money, I give it my money. If I need cards, I swipe my credit card. That probably is unbeatable with the Archdruid here. It's considering a lot of card advantage. Maybe if we find a Skalds next turn. Yeah, they've got more lords here too. This is definitely a matchup where our linear game plan is not good enough and we need to pull up a little bit. So Deccan Stone and Abrade are both good here. We're going to cut the Hopes. You cut Bomat Courier in these creature matchups that, generally speaking, doesn't have profitable board states to attack into. Honestly, Cage is probably good here. I don't love Cage against just Collected Company decks, but my opponent's deck's not just Collected Company. It's also Realm Walker. No, you have to toggle them. Extras, you have to enable quick mod options. Yeah, it turns off Clan Caller's activated ability too, which is nice. Zero Sin becoming Hoaglandia's 24th Shillionaire. Look at our trickle-down economics at work here. Look at how much easier and accessible Shillionaire is for the next Hoaglandian. Now, for the low price of 999,976 channel points, you too can join the elite ranks of the Shillionaires. Be sure to ping me on Discord, Zero Sin, and I will get you the Shillionaire roll set up this evening. I think Jumpstart was a success. Yeah, I think by all metrics, Jumpstart was successful. Seemed like people liked it a lot. I don't know that we have specific sale metrics on just Jumpstart, but everybody that I've talked to seemed like they were pretty happy with it. That's interesting. I guess they expected me to have a lot of removal postboard. I don't. I've heard good things about the manual crank desk look no numbers, but at this point, I'm kind of just like using my uplift until it dies. Veridesk. Yeah, that's the name I've heard of for crank ones. Oh, I have to take 2 here to cast this because I didn't play Red Stars.
I knew you needed my help.
I have some cards about it. So the game plan here with these Shaper Sanctuaries now is they spent their mana developing these, so we're hoping to like tempo them out of the game at this point. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, we're dead. Got it. Good shit. They were crippled by. Can I get a flavor judge ruling on my artifacts dying to crippling fear? I feel like I need a flavor judge ruling on that. Are there any flavor judges available for comment? Hey, thanks for the 13 months, Win Magus. Welcome back. Thanks for the follow, Jack. Mulligan this. It's a little land heavy. It doesn't have any of our big payoff cards in it. Like no Steel Overseer, no Tempered Steel, no Skalds. Yeah, this is super reasonable. I think we actually bottom the Chandra here. Ideally, we draw another 1-drop and go 1-drop, 1-drop Steel. Wow, you beat up somebody playing Gates Ablaze. You're definitely the bad guy in that matchup. Offering that trade all day. My favorite MTG flavor fail. I don't know that I have one that stands out in my mind. This is probably a tough matchup for us game one. Postboard, we've got Tocatli on our guards and Rampaging Ferocidons though, so we have a plan here. Okay, no 4 toughness thing here is good for us though. I get to play Tempered Steel and crack him for 6 here, or for 9. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Food being an artifact feels strange. And the fact that we're talking about flavor fails and it's related to food seems like a flavor win, so. All right, a good collecting company could like get them to 27 here. I don't think that qualifies as a good collecting company. Definitely could have been worse for us. Well, we're definitely trading in our 2 lands for whatever 4 cards are under Bomat Courier here. These Gingerbrutes might go the distance. He said before Resplendent Angel came into play and gained 800 life. Ooh. Yeah, and now we're at the point of the game where we can't win if this is a land, because it activates Resplendent Angel, but we also can't win if it's a spell, so we're definitely dead. I'm aware they'd get another, it doesn't matter. They're not getting another Angel because we're conceding, is the actual answer. The actual answer is you're wrong, and they're not getting another angel because I'm conceding. It's okay. We've got our sideboard cards, chat. It's very possible that I want more than 5 of this style effect. It's possible that the third cage should be a 4th honor guard because of this matchup. Honor guard is also good against goblins, which is primarily where you want cage. Feel like decks playing Collecting Company have an advantage in the aggro mirror. Nah, I disagree with that. The opponent's deck being strongly favored into our deck has nothing to do with Collecting Company and everything to do with the fact that their deck gains incredible amounts of life. I don't understand your question, Busy. Cage is much better against the sack deck. Wait. I think you're right though that I should have 4 honor guards. They are splashing for veto. Yep. Gonna attack for 12 here. Well, we could die next turn. Yeah, 6 power for 2 mana is nice. A little bit above rate. Veto is a cleric for the 2/4 or for the 1/4. Nah, I don't have a schedule, Griffin said. If I'm being honest, I don't really expect that deck to be very good in this format, so like, it's pretty low on my priority list to get through. At some point, but I don't expect to like get to it before this weekend, for example. I definitely want to play this before anything else because this turns off their ability to Skyclave Apparition me. It's kind of funny that these two turn each other off. It's a great draw. Deck the halls with bowls of resplendent. Fa la 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 la. By the way, for people that haven't played this archetype, Gingerbrute is low-key the best card in your deck. I don't even know if it's low-key, it might be high-key the best card in your deck. It's real good. Yeah, I want 4 of these in the 75 for sure. It just wins this matchup so hard. It's good other places. Yeah, nice deck. I tweeted about this yesterday. I want to work on Mutate some more at some point, and Hushbringer is a card that deck can play, which is flying Tocatli Honor Guard with lifelink. Would this deck rather have? We'd rather have Hushbringer in this deck. I guess Hushbringer flies. Hushbringer dies more easily to Mayhem Devil and Stomp. Are there any Stomp decks that care about Honor Guard? There aren't really, right? Would I rather just have... Would I rather just have Hushbringer? Nah, it's not crazy at all, Ranger. It makes complete sense with how the system works. Honor Guard is slightly better against goblins. Can you explain why? Why is Honor Guard better against goblins? What am I missing? Oh, that's a cute observation. Oh, it dies to Crater Maker. I'm gonna leave Honor Guard. One full March of support. Thank you for the 12 months patches. Welcome back. One full March of support. I guess I don't understand the underlying ranking system. So the thing you need to understand about the underlying ranking system that's not transparent on Arena, but it's transparent on some other games like Legends of Runeterra, is that everybody on the ladder system has an internal number that determines their ranking, and the spread on those numbers between let's make up an arbitrary number. Let's say the person who's 100 on the ladder has 100 points, and the person who's in the percentages has 20 points, and you win or lose 10 to 15 points per match. It only takes half a dozen matches to go from that 100-point threshold down to the 20-point threshold in the percentages. And obviously, we don't have any transparency on Magic Arena to know exactly what those metrics look like in terms of what those numbers are, but that's how it functions. There's so many people that play these games that they're packed tightly together. So the difference between the 100th ranked player and the 1200th ranked player is pretty small. It's just a couple of matches. One of the things Runeterra Runeterra does well is they reveal it. ELO systems are stupid and don't make any sense at all. Sorry, ELO systems aren't stupid. ELO systems are stupid in the context of games that have variance by design. The amount of forgiving your ELO system has to be is like really, really high. And honestly, I guess looking at what the definition, depending on how an ELO system is defined, I think you should. It probably is an ELO system. It's just like pretty forgiving because it's a variance by design game. So, this is actually something I was talking about with another group of people, but decay on ladder systems is also inherently bad. So, other people rising over you, pushing you down isn't decay. So, putting decay into a ladder system where you lose arbitrary amounts of points just as time goes on, all that does is it makes matches you play early on less valuable than matches you play later. And under an ideal system, a match I play at the start of the season should be worth the same amount of points as a match I play at the end of the season. In my opinion, if my matches are worth different value depending on when they happen, that's a bad system. And that's subjective. Feel free to disagree with that. But an ideal system, in my opinion, should weight matches the same regardless of when they're played. No, so what you're saying is your statement is just objectively wrong. Wait. You're putting forward the hypothesis that adding decay encourages people to play at all times. That's not what it does. Adding decay simply makes it game theory optimal to play all of your games at the end of the season. So what you're saying isn't correct. You're saying, well, this system is better because it does this, but it doesn't actually do what you're saying it does. It's just not correct. I'm gonna offer the trade on the Blinkmoth for the Bolas here, I think. No balance changes in Runeterra patch notes. Yep. The fact that even Twisted Fate didn't get changed is real rough. In general, I don't like providing free solutions to things, but like I've spent a lot of time thinking about and breaking down the ups and downs of different ranking systems, so I don't mind talking about those from that perspective. Here's a lukewarm take from people that talking about decay and adding things like that to the system. This is what I think is actually. I think, in my opinion, I would be surprised if this is not just true. In my opinion, tying incentives to ladder rankings is just bad and encourages bad behavior and doesn't actually do what you want it to do. And that's not something that's unique to Magic Arena. Like, all of these games tie incentives to ladder rankings, and I think it's shit that they all do it, and they definitely all encourage psychologically unhealthy behavior by doing so. I'm not a huge fan of ladder systems as a way to provide incentives in general. All right, so what am I doing here? So If I give up a tempered steel... If I give up a tempered steel here, I can kill an Ugin with a Blinkmoth, which I think is what I want to do. So I can only cast these spells this turn. I think this is fine. I'm gonna spread out some of these counters a little bit here. Well, I can actually kill both their planeswalkers here, right? And I think it's correct to kill their planeswalkers as opposed to attacking them. I've got double Skalds left over in my hand here. And actually, if I'm attacking these into here, maybe I should put the extra counter in here because they're probably trading here. Yeah. Yeah, the difference between Decay and what we have now is the system we have now, you front load the matches you play, and under a Decay system, you backload it. You don't actually change behaviors, you just change when those behaviors happen, is like the TLDR. Yeah, and thereas Kanta here is flipped, but like, this takes a while to get going, right? And if they deploy another Planeswalker, my Blinkmoth Nexus threatens it. This is a 4/4, potentially bigger with Showdown next turn. They tap out for a Chandra here, I'm actually gonna kill her with Blinkmoth. I actually don't think there's any inherent problem with Arena's current ladder system that's not a problem with all ladder systems in general. And you could maybe argue that's a cop-out, but it's definitely how I feel. And then I'm gonna go ahead and Stonecoil Serpent here as a 2/2 because I would like to get this Gingerbrute out of Languish range. Although they played Sweltering Suns, it could be right to make both of these 4/4s to get them out of Sweltering Suns range. Dwight with the 58 months, one of the OGs. Man, it feels like a lifetime ago that we were driving to invitationals and SCG Opens, huh? Where's the time go? Our children were babies then, and now they're like kids in school. It's wild. Grapple! Thanks for the 31 months. Oh, that's true. Yeah, cranking this to 5 gets it out of Chandra range, which is nice.
You and I are gonna take them out. Time to
the only thing that I personally would change about Magic Arena's ladder system is I would have it be more transparent about how it works. I would like it if Arena's ladder system was like Runeterra's ladder system and told you how it works. Showed you the underlying. Yeah, Blinkmoth plus Skalds is really hot. Yeah, it's great. Blinkmoth with Tempered Steel, also great. Yeah, I like our deck a lot. Archetype's sweet. Archetype's got, aggressive draws, and it also gets to draw cards. It's like everything I want to do. All of our card advantage spells also kill our opponent, which is strong. We just had a pure do-nothing patch in Runeterra, and people are losing their minds. They should be losing their minds. Riot's got a good game, but their response time's been really bad this year. Alright, so if this is a blank, they're dead. This is 12. All the streamers just decided to stop today. Yeah, I don't blame them. There's a reason. There's a reason why I'm taking a Runeterra break till the next big patch press pick. All right, extra Chandra sounds great. I don't think this is a Dino matchup. Honestly, I think our control matchup's pretty good. As you can saw from that first game, I don't really change much. I think we just like cut the Sparring Construct and call it a day. They bring in a Abrade, so we should cut all of our artifact creatures. It's a big brain play. Yeah, burnout's real. Honestly, like, I'm happy to be back at Magic, but like taking a break for Runeterra and like Mythgard's great right now. I'm just having a good time playing a bunch of different things. There's a reason why we're still doing things like Mythgard and the other variety stuff in the afternoons, even though Magic is good, because variety is the spice of life. There's a ton of great games out there. Historic's a lot of fun. We're playing plenty of that, but there's also other things to explore. I'm sure Runeterra will get their stuff fixed sometime soon, regardless. Whether it takes another 2 weeks or a month, we'll see, but I don't expect it to be bad forever. You'll never catch him, chat. He's the Gingerbrute. Outside of something with a strong IP like Digimon, I fully expect to buy Digimon cards at some point. I don't think I'll ever get into another paper card game. If you're looking for something casual to play in paperweight, I would highly recommend Dice Throne. Their core game system is a lot of fun, and it's a lot more affordable than diving into a trading card game. Buying box sets of things is great. If you're looking for like something that can be one-on-one or also like a multiplayer EDH style like game night experience, Dice Throne is great. This stream's not sponsored or endorsed by Dice Throne. I just play a lot of it with my children and my wife. Family that games together, chat. Yeah, Digimon just rebooted their TCG. So I expect I'll probably try that at some point. Was that a good draw? If so, why? Ooh, gonna have to make some tough choices next turn. It's probably just these two. It might have been right to wait a turn on this. Playing this right on 4 can be sketch sometimes. I think it's these two. Pretty sure I want to get Tempered Steel down to get my individual card quality high. Honestly, it might be Tempered Steel Servo Expedition. Pro tip, MTG always refunds events in MTGA if a potentially game-breaking bug occurs and the scope of things you can refund for is huge. All right, I'm going to give you a warning as someone who's experienced Magic digital products for a long time. Unless their policy has changed, Wizards of the Coast used to ban people on Magic Online for filing for comp too often, even when they were experiencing legitimate bugs. So just be cautious with what you're refunding. And again, there could have been a policy change since that happened, but you know, years ago on Moto, that was definitely a thing that happened. You'd like hit a bunch of bugs, they'd just be like, nah, you just need to stop hitting that bug. Thanks for the 30 months, Austin. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And if they take this hit here, okay, yeah, so like, even if they sweep me next turn, I've got Ramunap Ruins hiding in my mana base here. So. Nice Grixis deck. You got a Nicol Bolas. Casting Nicol Bolas and then immediately conceding. Name a more iconic Grixis duo, chat. I'll wait. Grixis plus Mana Screw. That's true. Grixis plus Mana Screw is a good one. Why is Grixis such a meme? That's a question Magic players have been asking for decades. Why is Grixis such a meme? This hand's like not amazing, but I think it's in the range of keepable on the play here. Alright, let's just draw a Tempered Steel next turn, huh? Tempered Steel, but might be probably going to be a little slow here. Are we Chandraing the Goblin Chieftain? I don't think so. I think it's just like Servo, fire up Blinkmoth, pump the Overseer. Yeah, Blinkmoth is such a good addition to this deck. It's real. Such a good addition. Is that lethal? I fire up this. They have 5. Yeah, that's lethal, right? They can block 5 things. Two hitters are lethal. They could theoretically have a Gem Palm or a piece of interaction they could sack for mana. Like, they could go, like, sack, and then kill something. But, yeah, sick. That was great. Alright, so 4 Tocatli Honor Guard, 2 Cages. This is a Chandra out matchup for sure. It's a Gingerbrute out matchup. I guess they don't have that many hasters. Bomat Courier comes out when they can block. Hope of Ghirapur being a flying attacker is kind of nice. Yeah, honestly, like, the fact that we were on the play and beat Chieftain into Krenko is, like, no joke. I think this is an Abrade in matchup, but I don't think it's a deck in stone matchup. There's logic for not having Hushbringer here. 2 toughness. 2 toughness dies to Mayhem Devil much easier. It also turns off our 1-drop technically, but mostly the 2 toughness thing. Tocatli Honor Guard. Tocatli Honor Guard blocks better too. Well, I almost boarded out a Showdown. Oh yeah, Crater Maker. That was the other one. Yeah, goblins can tutor up a Shock Goblin. Think I give him a turn with this. No Goblin on top, because Cage will turn off the Snoop as well. I mean, there's no reason not to play around it, Wargy. Like, the Goblin's archetype gets to play 4 Goblin Matrons to tutor up whatever they want. So playing around a 1-of Goblin that's easily techable is fine. I don't know that we're gonna beat Krenko this game yet. Feels unlikely. I guess these 2 are pretty good, depending on what they have. This snowball's real hard and fast though. There's Shatter Skull here as well. Oh, they're gonna get Trash Master and then we're dead, right? Huh? Okay. Really surprised we didn't get Trash Mastered. Well, I guess they're just gonna kill us next turn, huh? Maybe I want my 3rd Abrade. I mean, drawing all 4 was pretty exceptionally unlucky. Trimming 1's probably fine here. It's been really good, Nightwings. Solid addition for sure. Big upgrade over the Sunscorched Deserts we've been playing previously. So the problem with Ferocidon is 1, I don't think it's better than any of the other cards we're already playing. And 2, if we end up in a position where we're playing defense a little bit and building our board up, it shuts us out too. It's a symmetrical effect, so there's some risk associated with it. Lukewarm take. People that complained about HA4 being bad are whiny crybabies, and you shouldn't listen to them. HA4 was great. If you want fuller thoughts on why HA4 was great, I have a... Oh, someone updated my command. Damn it, mods. Damn it, mods. What's HA4? HA4 is Historic Anthology 4. It is the thing that had, the Blinkmoth Nexus and all those other things that recently dropped to them. Okay, so I get to... Oh, that's great. Wait, they let me untap with Overseer? Friendo. You okay? You okay, friend? You okay, friend? Alright, good, sweet. There are literally people that they want Historic Anthology to just be 25 Modern and Legacy staples. I kid you not. That's what they want Historic Anthologies to be. They want them to be 25 super pushed powerful cards. Correct. Yes, AJ, yes. The 4th Historic Anthology is the most recent one. Yep. If you pull up my YouTube channel and scroll back in the videos a little bit, there's a video. Sweet, yeah. Thank you, Weens, you rock. That YouTube video Weens just linked should be it. Yeah, perfect. I would love an anthology with charms and commands in it. That would be gas. I think Historic Anthology 4 was great. I think it had a great range of build-around cards. It included some really powerful cards like Death Shadow. I think it included a little bit of something for everyone. Sure, but you don't have to spend money on HA4. You can just craft the cards you need, just like anything else. And every part of Magic Arena makes you buy cards that you don't actually want. That's how the whole economy works. You didn't misread. There's a typo in the client. I would say I can't believe they haven't fixed that typo yet, but I can believe they haven't fixed that typo yet. It's perfectly on brand for Wizards of the Coast. If I said I couldn't believe it, I'd be lying. Are there any HA4 anthology cards that aren't modern legal? I don't know the answer to that offhand. Yes, actually. The Mutate 6-drop. The Mutate card we've been playing a ton of isn't modern legal. Yeah, there were a couple of Commander cards, actually. In the Arena client, the HA4 anthology, when you go to buy it, it says that it only gives you 1 copy of each card, which is incorrect. It gives you 2 copies. It gives you a playset of every card. No blocks. We have not played the Snapdax version of Mutate on stream. I built it and I tweeted it, but it's not happened on stream yet. It's neat, Wargy. I don't know that it's necessarily good enough, but it's neat. There's a Mayhem Devil in here, we're dead. Someone was asking earlier what matchups is Cage better than Tocatli Honor Guard. This one. Think this is an all Doomblades on deck matchup. I'm gonna bring in our cages too. I don't think this is a Tocatli Honor Guard matchup. I don't think it's Ferocidon. Yeah, I agree, Prime. From a game theory and format crafting perspective, Historic's basically everything I've ever wanted out of format. And if they slowly add the other cards that people love to it, like, that's great. Like, I would do terrible things to be able to cast Vendilion Click on Magic Arena chat. Terrible, terrible things. If I could cast Wizard of the Coast, I will not say anything negative for 2 entire weeks if you give me Vendilion Click. 2 weeks. All positivity. Give me Vendilion Click. Flip it and ship it. Yeah, 2 weeks is the best I could do. I almost said a month, and I was like, let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks I can deliver on, I think. I try not to make promises I can't keep, chat. I think I could deliver on 2 weeks of blisteringly positivity. You explain why you didn't bring in Deccan Stone against goblins. Yeah, because you're not a control deck. You can only board in so many cards. One of the biggest mistakes people make with decks like ours during sideboarding is sideboarding in too many cards and then not being able to execute your primary game plan. Yeah, I agree. Actually, that's basically my want extras. All of those sweet cards that are too underpowered to be played in Modern, I want all of them printed into Historic ASAP. That's all I want. I actually don't really have an emotional attachment to Bitter Blossom like some people do. I just like Vendilion Click because it's a sweet tempo card. I wasn't playing Magic competitively when Fairies happened. I caught you live. Thanks for the YouTube. Hop Daddy, I think I missed your resub. I've been doing that a lot today. If you're still here, thanks for dropping in. Temper my steel, daddy. Temper my steel, daddy. Oh, you need a sword too. Get you sorted up. Like we talk about sweet cards I want from Innistrad all the time. Restoration Angel, chat. Restoration Angel and Vendilion Click. I want to resto my clicks, okay? That's something I did in Modern way longer than I should have been doing in Modern. And I would love to do it in Historic. Mid-rangey creature deck. Are you talking about in Historic? I think this deck our current opponent is playing is the best mid-rangey creature deck in the format. Otherwise something with Collected Company. Like basically pick your favorite Coco deck. I actually really liked Merfolk. I'm probably gonna start with Merfolk tomorrow.
It's time to step out.
I think I'm gonna start with Merfolk on stream tomorrow. I think I gotta kill Vraska because they have this food here. Hey, Sarah Mahaj, thank you for the entire year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I just servo here, so that way I can play this as a 4-4 or a 5-5 down the line. It's a shame we didn't hit a land there. If we would have hit a land, the Ramunap Ruins would have been lethal. Why is Tempered Steel an enchantment and not an artifact flavor-wise? Because Tempered Steel isn't the steel itself, it's tempering your other steel magically. So my flavor judge ruling is that it's completely appropriate for it to be an enchantment. Didn't have to activate Gingerbrute. Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, because they would have been dead there. That's a good call. Am I throwing away a 1/1 to hit them for 2? I think so. My mana's tied up in Ramunap Ruins for the next little bit anyways. Okay, so I need them to not play... This attack is kind of rough if they go Mayhem Devil plus another creature, because then they go kill, kill, and then I have to sacrifice this. But if they don't have Mayhem Devil 1-drop here, they should be dead. I guess claim the Firstborn's also pretty bad for us, huh? Tom's catch on, not need to activate Gingerbrute though, is good. So, you're dead? So they're gonna eat the food with this mana? And go to 4? Alright, well, if it was the right play last turn, I think it's still the right play. Playing creature decks against the opponent's archetype is just such a giant armpit stain. Just super miserable. Ideally, it shouldn't be legal. Mari the Collector, probably a mutate deck? This was maybe supposed to be a mulligan. I have okay pressure, but I don't have anything that plays to the board. I don't have any of my big payoffs, I mean. Never mind, hand's perfect. I don't know why I doubted my deck chat. You just gotta believe, chat. Well, shit. Is the part where they mutate a second Gem Razor? Ooh, okay. Okay. Do I steal and then smack them? They like chump block a little bit. I think we're supposed to Skalds here. There's a good chance it just doesn't matter with turn 2 Gem Razor. Midway Monster, thank you for the 2 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around. The second Tempered Steel here might drag us out of this. Yeah, wow. Okay, well. We're gonna deck the halls with bowels of some mutate creatures. Honestly, I think we keep a Hope in just to keep our aggressive slant going. Now, there's been a few other mutate lists going around. The Sawtooth is like a genuinely powerful card. Straw. A very solid start here again. Thing into Tempered Steel is wonderful. They could go green source into... Oh yeah, this seems real good for us. Nah, 2/2 is not very good on this board. I'm gonna pass on playing that out. You cannot buy old historic anthologies directly. No, you can craft the cards though. Yeah, just too slow. Deck a lot. I think it seems super reasonable. What do I consider the core? Blinkmoth was a solid upgrade to this archetype. Felt really, really good in a ton of different matches. I think I would consider this pack of 4 ofs the core of the deck. I don't think I would cut any of these cards. I think these cards here, you could kind of take or leave for whatever you want to do with them. They're fine in their slots, but if you wanted to experiment with other things, I wouldn't fault you for doing that. I think Chandra's probably pretty good. She's just, another card that gives you a little bit of reach, and she draws cards like Showdown. Maybe it's a little bit too much top end of the main deck. Like, for example, if you wanted to hedge creature decks, you could pull these out and put Deck in Stone in the main deck, or Abrade or something in the main deck if you wanted to. It drags the curve down a little bit. I don't hate this as well. It makes you a little bit better against aggro and worse against control. I personally like dumpstering control, so I think I'll keep the Chandras in the main, but those are definitely the spots that you kind of have to play with that I think you can flex out depending on what you want to be extra good or extra bad against. Yeah. All right, I think that's going to wrap on Historic for the day. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. If you're new to the channel, make sure to check out my YouTube as well. We play 2 or 3 different Magic decks every single day of the week, and this week's going to be all Historic, because just to plug here, coming up this weekend, if you're interested in watching or playing in some tournament Magic, the Glandia Open Series is going to be returning with Historic this weekend. This is a very New player, kind of more casual, laid-back tournament experience. You haven't seen them before. It's a $5 entry fee plus being subscribed to my channel, and the prize structure is very flat, so it's very low pressure. It's a double elimination tournament. Everybody that gets at least 4 match wins gets store credit. There's also some random door prizes to people that go 3 and 2. And we also do a Caster's Choice Award, so 2 people that get at least 2 match wins with a really sweet deck. Myself and my co-caster Jim Davis for this week, and we'll each pick out a deck that we like from the 2+ wins that get a that are sweet. So, you know, even first place is 120 versus 100, so it's not like we're doubling it up every single round. So like I said, really low pressure environment, just hang out and play some sweet, fun Magic. We have 45 people signed up already. We're going to take up to 256. I imagine we'll probably have 100 or so you can sign up for this up until it starts on Sunday morning. You can check that link out on MTG Melee here. Hey, Analog and Master Sarati, thanks for the reset.